dominant forms of hip-hop, thin, bubblegum-like, hollow, shallow, stimulating body, no stirring, no soul, which is very, very sad because young people need soul-stirring music.
Yo, what up? Luxurious.
Drums and ammo.
Ghetto. Gifted. Ammbaataa.
It's Ammbaataa, baby.
Check.
Let's get to it. DJ Ambush, Drums and Ammo. The show is called This, That, and the Third, and this is like the inaugural edition. This is like a live video shoot. I've always, I've been doing the Zooms, and we're breaking the seal with a crew from Oakland that I became familiar with. I don't know when did practice come out? When did the video for practice pop off?
That was pretty recent. That was like end of 2022.
2022.
End of 2022.
Okay. So
yeah.
I stumbled across the video. I don't know how it is. Instagram. I don't know. I'm sure we got a lot of same people in the same in our algorithm. So I stumbled across Barbaydose,
Right.
and I posted the video up. Got a good response. We kept in contact. They've been working, getting busy. They connected with Noble, one of my longtime collaborators.
Shout out to Noble.
Supporter of the Drums and Ammo Famo Collective. And now we're here with the launch of the latest video. What's the name of the new video, y'all? Seasons.
Seasons.
So
Young
we're gonna talk about seasons.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about some of the come up, some of those foundations, some of the stories that got us to this point. I want to get to the influences as usual. Like some of the things that kind of kicked the game off for y'all. So let's start with B-sides, because I feel like I see you in the spot. You know what I mean, in the building.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to say thank you guys for even keeping me in the loop for what you guys got going.
Sure.
You know what I mean, and
Most definitely.
and making me a part. I'm proud to be a part of the movement as you guys start on this endeavor.
Yep.
Get it
That's
popping
right.
off. So
Yeah.
this is a Drums and Ammo, open arm invitation. You know what I mean, and all the support I could give, I'm down to rock. So B-sides, give me some of that intro. Some of that kickoff.
Man, I just want to say I appreciate you. Drums and Ammo. I've been seeing your logo and your business model all over the map from totally different people just randomly rocking your gear. But yeah, so my influences, I mean, I'm an 80s baby, so like I'm like Michael Jackson, Prince, Ray Charles, Sade type of guy. But then when it comes to hip hop, it was like Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Dilated People, Gangstar, Nas, of course, Jay-Z, of course, Big L. I mean, the foundation of hip hop. Like, my definition of hip hop is like, or my intro into hip hop was like early 90s. I saw it in the 80s, but I was too young to understand it.
Yeah.
But like 92, 93 is when I started seeing Cream and different things that was just like, oh, wait a minute. You're making me an adult real fast. Real fast.
Yeah. Hey, could you get a little bit closer to the mic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting. I see that little signal's getting low.
All right.
We in the clouds.
Yes, sir. Big brother.
We here.
Man.
We here.
Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Once again, this is dope, bro. This is real good right here. So for me, I was born in Mississippi, so the South has its own kind of thing going with music. It's kind of always been, kind of divided in certain areas. You got your Florida style, especially being born in the 90s. So you know what I'm saying? Like you had a lot of influences that kind of came from like the party era and stuff like that, and then you had artists from ATL where it was more so like Outkast and things like that. But then you also have like David Banner, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, you know, a different spin on music. But I kind of always had the fortunate, you know, my mom, she wouldn't be acclaimed as a connoisseur of music, but you know, there's a lot of West Coast, you know, a lot of Tupac was popping, especially on the radios and stuff at that time. Then there was like a lot of, you feel me, a lot of New York shit too. It was a lot of New York music popping up on the radio at that time. So, you know, watching the MTVs and the BETs and the you feel me, the big tickets and you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Basement.
Like, yeah, the basement gave a lot of insight to what lyricism kind of became for me growing up. And I actually started playing. I don't really talk about this much, but I played trumpet. So you know, I've been doing that too. And it came up from like band, you know, playing in, you know, school and shit like that, to where you know, had that opportunity. I would play for church and shit like that sometimes too. So I got like the understanding of like the organs and the drums and all of that good stuff too. You know, singing and shit. So you know, my spectrum of music has been like, it's been on some real student vibes. Like I had the ability to like really like know what an Alice Coltrane is, or know what a John Coltrane is, you know what I'm saying? But still know, you know, your lyricism, but your club shit too. You feel me? Yeah. So, you know, it's been
diversity.
Diverse. It's been a pretty diverse palette.
Nice flavor. Yeah. All right. So we got High right now. I got you now. Yeah. I was trying to determine, are you, because I know I know you're on the mic, but are you the crew production, or do you guys all do production, or are you like the resident beat?
For our group, our Barbaydose project, when the three of us are working together, I primarily handle the beat making, but these guys all individually make beats as well. Yep. Are very talented producers as well. But for Barbaydose, I'm the one that does the majority of the heavy lifting. So I'll start with like a sample chop and then add the drums, and then these guys will be in there rolling up, getting ready, getting in that mind state to create. And I'll go through different iterations of things. I'll flip through beats and stuff, and one will jump out. Yeah. And then that'll be the one that we'll start working on. Yeah. But yeah, I do most of the production for the projects that we're working on as a trio.
What's some of those early influences?
So like B, I'm a 80s baby as well. So similarly, I think my heaviest influence by way of Mobb Deep would probably be Q-Tip. As Abstract as a producer, because of his influence on a lot of the music that was coming out in the early 90s. And then also Alchemist and Dilated Peoples are very influential. Anybody that's produced on an Evidence record in the last 10 years, probably
gotcha.
like what's it, Khalil and
DJ Khalil.
And
Self Scientific.
Thank you. Yeah, and Sid Rome's.
Sid Rome's. Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember.
So anybody that did that, any of that heavy, you'll hear influences in my beats. That's kind of the vein that I gravitate towards, like 78 to 84 beats per minute. I venture out on occasion, but it usually sticks right in that wheelhouse. But yeah, and then Wu-Tang Clan, and I had all the tapes. I had the Walkman with the tapes and the Sony headphones back in the 90s. So the Purple Tape, the infamous album. Erykah Badu's Baduism on cassette was a heavy influence, to be honest with you.
Big facts.
That got a lot of run, and I think that was a historical record. It pertains to Dilla coming into the cipher of all those people and his influence after the fact on that. So that I would say that those are the biggest influences.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because just even talking about the Erykah Badu, that album, like you said, a lot of that, it didn't pop off. You didn't really trip off of how many people were involved in it at that moment. So it just kind of unraveled. And I like how albums do that sometimes. Like you'll have an album, you have music, and you're sitting with it, and you're doing your thing. But then like a year later, you'll hear like, oh, I didn't really trip that Questlove was. I didn't trip that JD was there. I didn't trip that this was happening. So it's to hear that influence. That's an official one that you don't hear a lot.
So
You know what I mean?
Aquarians.
Yeah.
So Aquarians, yeah, which is crazy because I worked with Raphael Sadiq early. I mean, for his solo project, Insta Vintage, and I thought he was part of So Aquarians, but he isn't, obviously.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Somebody cracked me over the head. I'm like, they listed everybody, and I was like, what about Raphael Sadiq? Oh, he's not a So Aquarian. So okay, that's all right. So that was new for me. So as far as we got the practice, is this the first project? Is that the first body of work from Barbaydose?
Nah, so Practice is our second EP.
Okay.
The first EP we dropped was called Future Reminiscent.
That's right. That's right.
And we dropped that in 2019?
2020.
2020. We finished it in 2019. And then we got it mixed and mastered in 2020, and then we dropped it in 2020.
Yeah.
Right after we were debating on if we should do it because the pandemic had just dropped around that time.
Pandemic dropped at the same time.
They dropped a hotter album than us. You feel me? So
Yeah, way
we
more
had to-
replay value
yeah.
apparently.
Real fire. Yeah, they dropped that real fire.
Man.
for real,
Real campaign.
that shit went viral.
Yeah.
Super viral.
Yeah.
The virus went viral.
Yeah, it did, basically. Yeah, that was June of 2020.
Yeah, just a couple months right after the shutdown.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we kept in contact over the interwebs and managed to put out videos during that time and managed to just
we put out content, for sure.
keep making stuff. Not as much as obviously we would have.
Yeah, yeah.
But we still were doing stuff.
Did you guys when the pandemic was in full motion? Did you rehearse? Did you connect up? You know what I mean? Were you still kept it active, but were you officially still man, we're gonna stay sharp? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before it jumps off.
Yeah, starting out, I would like to say before we had a decent amount of run throughs where we was either in the studio pretty frequently enough, or we was okay, little active. You know what I mean? Right before the shutdown, going into 2020, we didn't really know exactly what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because from what I seen in 2019, it was oh shit, something's about to pop off, but it was maybe not for a while.
Yeah.
But 2020 came and it was oh shit, it's a whole bunch of things cracking. Probably around, I'll say March, that's when shit really got serious. But by that time, we were already thinking about, okay, we're gonna have videos, okay, or are we gonna do any shows? We was kind of in that phase and towards getting into that rhythm of
That's
doing,
right.
live performances and shit like that. So it kind of set us. I think it kind of took everybody by a little turn. You know what I'm saying? This was our debut right here, Future Rim. So it was for us, it was it was gonna be that takeoff.
That was the one. Yeah, it was supposed to be the kickoff.
Yeah, for sure.
So production wise, on the Practice EP, being that the pandemic popped off, did you already have the production already done? Was the project already done, or were you chipping away at it? You know what I mean? Prior to the release.
It was already done.
Yeah, so it was done.
We had it done. We were sitting on it. We were trying to figure out the right rollout, right?
Yeah, I got you.
And then the shutdown came, and they were like, "Oh shit, should we pull an audible?
Yeah.
What should we do?"
Should we just
were
say
we
fuck it and
we
just,
we weren't sure if we should just sit on the project
play?
and figure out when shit drops. But we decided to drop it
Just filling out the climb.
because it was if we sit on it any longer, it's gonna be 2 years old, 3 years old.
If we wait
And
till
so,
Yeah.
and now we're getting to the point where it's we're just gonna drop stuff when it's ready, because it's everything is time sensitive. So if we miss out on the opportunity, the window of opportunity, we might not have it again next time, or it won't be as
It won't be
impactful.
what it- yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all about right now.
Well, I'd like to, the new Black Star album is called No Fear of Time.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel if something is dope, man, I feel I don't know. I don't really believe that time frame
It don't even
has
matter.
a big. You know what
I feel you
That's
on
just
that.
me.
I just think that like the window for when you have to release it
Yeah.
is like is a crucial part of it.
Yeah, true
Because
indeed.
like you could record it 10 years ago and drop it on the day that it needs to come out and it'd be impactful.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you could drop it on a day where it's not as impactful and it just
lose,
flies over people's heads. You know what I
The
mean?
momentum carries different.
True indeed. No,
So-
true indeed. That's
But you know, every situation is different. So we just in our scenario, we were like, if we're gonna put anything out, it should be right
Let's
now.
do it,
When everything is like kind of online anyway.
That's right. That's right.
So
yeah.
it kind of helped to a degree.
Yeah.
No, I mean I can dig it. So you guys rocked the Hyro Day, right?
We did Hyro
Yeah.
Day, yes sir.
Was that
was
your
crazy.
first Hyro Day jump
That,
off?
that was our first Hyro Day, and that was our first set
Yeah. As a group.
as a
Time
group.
we ever performed.
It was at Hyro Day.
It was at Hyro
this
Day.
year,
That
or
shit
last
was
year.
wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy, right?
how do you guys feel? I mean, how you know? How would you feel? You know, how'd you feel about it? What was the grade?
For me, it was like a long time coming because I was working for Hyro for a long time before that even occurred. But I just, where I was at when I was working with them, I was kind of comfortable and I wasn't putting out music as frequently, but I was recording it.
Okay.
But we just weren't putting it out. We were just like
And that's
100,000 hours.
where me and B kind
Yeah.
of tapped in there too.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
before that.
Yeah, so when I was working for them, I had a studio over here on 50th,
Okay.
right around the corner.
Right there. Yeah.
And they would pull up every day. I would be there every day, and they would pull up every day right after because Jay used to work right around the corner. So
Which J? Which J you talking about? That
we in the
J.
cloud.
Yeah,
we in the
we
cloud.
in
Sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's double J's up in the building. But yeah, we that's kind of like the origin story. It's
Okay.
like really through Pep.
Yeah.
We,
shout out to
me
Pep
and
Love, for
me and
Pep.
me and we in the cloud met through Pep, and then High Right came through one time because we in the cloud was already working with him.
Yeah.
They already had a project out already.
Our first recording session for a song off our first record called "Run It Fast" was actually their verses were recorded at Pep Studio in
Okay.
Oakland. So
Yep.
yeah, that was like the genesis of it was
That's solid.
by way of the hieroglyphics, and then me and
Shout out to Hyro.
yeah, shout out to Hyro. Me and we in the cloud met through his cousin, who's a family friend, who lives down the street or that lived down the street from me, back in El Cerrito.
It was crazy too because we lived next to each other for like 2 whole years before we
wow.
ever even really had a conversation. Even with that being said, like
Yeah, I think his cousin, because I had
was
long
like,
hair at
bruh.
the time when we first met.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I think they thought I was on some folk rock music or something.
I
something
got you,
like
I got
that.
you.
And then he walked up to me one day. His cousin Soleil walked up to me.
Hey.
Shout out Soleil.
Yeah.
Walked
Shout
up
out
to me
to
one
Soleil,
day. Is
for
like,
sure.
man, I didn't know you make rap music. I was like, yeah. What do you think I do, bro?
hey,
So yeah, and here we are today, which is
Crazy.
good. So
tap
yeah.
in.
All right. So we got the EP. We got the new video, Seasons.
Seasons.
Break down Seasons. You know the concept of it, the inspiration. You know what was the kind of like the DNA of Seasons? The new video we just dropped today on drumsandammo.com. You can peep it.
B, you go ahead.
Okay, well, I think it was heavily inspired by a lot of weed smoke. The way that me and Jay me and we in the cloud kind of work together is we both roll up, and High Right's usually making or playing a beat, and then we spark up and we just throw ideas back and forth at each other, just rhyming or concepts or what does this song sound like, and you know. We had some top shelf tree at the time, and we were like, and Jay was like, when Terps, I mean, he just started writing about weed, and I was
Yeah,
like,
we was
okay,
just
well,
talking about
I'm gonna
some
follow the
shit,
lead.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
But then it led to something else because like the Seasons, it was more so like
I forgot how that really. I think half of it was like in the studio when we was like together. I think the end part came when I was like in the booth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, because our music, you feel me? All of our styles throughout the I know, like, you know, when we take it back to the inspiration, my inspiration is that my childhood kind of built up towards where my inspiration in my high school years kind of was, and then kind of, you know, it transitions to what my inspiration is now. So, you know, you feel me, a little bit older. So it's like with the music shit, our styles kind of like transition. So by the time we had did practice, you feel me, when it came around to like, all right, you know, the season's track, we were all like, what are we gonna do differently from the Future Reminiscent project that we haven't done? Because the beat that like when he got to that sample, it's crazy. We had like a certain experience that, you know, in addition to all the inspirations and dialogue out there.
You talking about on the roof?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We done seen some shit, so it's like, you know, the inspiration for that track, like when he played that track, that sample, he was going through it like that. I think we start with a conversation.
Yeah.
We'll be rolling up, smoking, then we have a conversation. And we was already kind of talking about some shit, but we was like, how can we, you feel me, make the track like some shit that's like different? Because the sample was just so different from like the other shit that
it's
we
kind of
done.
eerie. It's kind of like an eerie 80s like scary movie vibe.
Yeah, so that shit was like, it was like that. So it was like,
But yeah, we kind of flipped it.
yeah,
Kind of flipped it.
the usual context. You
Right.
feel me, talking about woo-de woo, but still trying to stretch the mind and shit. You know what I
And
mean?
then the hook you guys reference, within the words of the hook, you reference the four seasons as well.
Right.
There's a play on words in there that talks about the four seasons.
Yeah, the wind.
Yeah.
The wind terps.
When terps on the, what is it? When
On-
terps on the bus, smoke the
best.
best.
A
Spring
spring
into action.
Folks
Fall to their depths.
Yeah.
Solar plexus.
It's
hot
all
summer.
winter. Yeah,
Yeah, so there's all
putting in
these
work all
references to the four
seasons. Styles
as well.
always come fresh.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I like too like you said, you caught that last part inside the booth. It's always, I always feel like it's a good thing just to leave a little wiggle room. You know what I mean? Go in there, you know, you have it together, but you get in the booth, leave a little wiggle room for something else.
Right.
You never know. That might be the
100%.
thing that takes us somewhere else. So how'd you guys hook up with Hyro? Or what's the connection with the Hyro crew?
So, so long story short, Pep Love used to be my roommate, and Opio. But before that even happened, I linked up with my homies Unjust and Cold Shoulder.
Yeah. That's everybody.
And those were my intros into Hyro because Justin was working on their website at the time and shooting videos and producing for them.
Crazy.
And when Justin's roommate moved out and went back to Ohio, they had another room opened up. And I had just broken up with my chick, and I was like, I need to get out of here right now. And he was like, guess what? I got a space for you.
Coincidence.
So it opened up the floodgates. I met everybody through Hyro, through that house. And, and then I started working for them.
Okay.
I started because I was working at this place called the Giant Peach. And the Giant Peach was like an online web store that had like
That's all the hip hop.
all the hip hop stuff from the 90s, and like, Quantum was there, Hyro was there, even like Living Legends were all of their merch was there.
Yeah.
And so we were housing all of their merch, and I was seeing all the artists come in, and I was just like, I was already making music, but I wasn't taking it serious.
That's right. Yeah, I got you.
And then Hyro kind of showed me that if you take it serious, you can be world renowned. And so I just was studying under them. I went on tour with them, and then the nest got too big, and I had to start flying on my own.
Yeah.
But those are my big brothers. I love them to this day for every opportunity that they gave me, man, and for my friends too, because we opened up other shows for them too. So it's one door open, and you could get as many people in I'm holding the door for my peoples.
Straight up.
You know.
I can dig it.
Hey, no shit though. Like, it's. I feel like the manifestations are real. You feel me? Like kind of to take from what B was saying, like, and what was passed on. That game is real. Like, if you do dedicate yourself to something, it's gonna happen. It's gonna fall into place as long as you work for it. Cause I know, like, for me, when I tapped in with B, I was doing a show at the time. It was during my era where I was on my hip hop activism. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hip Hop for Change, HH4C. You feel me? And all the good people who helped me craft my public speaking and activism. But you feel me? I was doing a show, and Pep Love was actually hosting the show.
Okay.
It was a spot in San Francisco, and the Boom Boom Boom. They had like a ROTC event where they would always have like somebody performing or artists, MCs coming on doing a live cipher. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Return of the cipher.
Return of the
That's
cipher.
right,
You
that's
feel
right.
me? So yeah, Pep was there, and for me, I had coming from Mississippi around 19, I was in high school when I first aspired to be an artist with my boy, and we was like literally going through who's the best MC. You know what I mean? Who's the best lyricist and shit, and going through time. 90s, and at that time it was like early, like 2010, whatever. So we was like looking up to that point, and we was for sure slapping like hella high road shit. So for me to even like
Get
to
that
be
connect.
this boy from the South,
Yeah.
to come through, I'm like, nigga, Pep Love is here. Like, you feel me? What the fuck?
That's still crazy. You know
Yeah, it's
what I mean?
crazy,
Like,
bro. Hella crazy.
that never like I've known. I met A Plus first. I
Right.
met him like 90. I don't know, 93, maybe 90, whatever.
Crazy.
Early 90s, and it never ceases to be able to like call cats. You know,
Right.
like, oh man, like I could call Tajay. It never dims. I'm always like
Right.
super appreciative because like the same way they influence y'all, they influence me as a peer, damn
For sure.
near. You know what I mean? So
That's crazy.
shout out to Unjust too.
Unjust.
You know, I met him through Tajay,
Right.
Rap Noir,
Right.
You know, the project.
Yeah.
We did
Right.
we did a live show with Rap Noir early in the pandemic.
I remember.
You know, we did the T-shirt
Yep.
with the ski mat,
Yep.
or with the thing, and so and that's where I met Unjust, and he's like a super like he could just get
For
in
sure.
there and do
For sure.
beat, do the website, do the do the whole
Video,
thing,
yep.
the
Shoot
video.
the and like help you with the marketing plan too.
Generator. for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I miss that guy. He moved back to Ohio, but yeah, he's definitely one of the bigger influences in the career, and also just like I feel like big brothers, their job is to influence their younger brothers to follow what they want to do.
Yeah.
And he's definitely one of those people that was like, hey, I got motivated by these people.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, it's rubbing off on you,
Yeah, straight up.
and it for sure was.
Damn.
It just took my time. I just took my time. You know what I mean?
Damn. Man, okay. Man, you guys dropping jewels over here, man. Dropping real jewels. Man, High Right. I want to talk about. I want to get into. I want to do a, like a production talk.
Okay.
You know what I mean, like,
Fire away.
who? I mean, we talk about Dilla. We talk about JD. We put him in a a space. He's one of the best to ever get busy. Outside of the Dr. Dre's and the I guess you would say like the Alchemist and these kind of staples. What producers do you kind of have a special place in your heart that aren't just the when somebody, hey, who's your favorite? Dr. Dre's. Like who's the outside of that bubble?
In the last, probably, ever since Mellow Music Group became a thing, Apollo Brown
Yeah,
would have
that's
to be one of my favorites. And the fact that I don't know if he still does, but that he did most of that on Cool Edit on an old janky computer.
Cool
with
Edit
just,
Pro.
Just chopping samples visually on that and making the quality of production that he does. He would have to be up there.
That's a solid one, man.
Yeah, let me think. I mean, there's a lot of cats around here that have done a lot of things.
Can I add to your list?
Yeah,
No,
please.
everybody could jump in
jump
too.
in.
Anybody, this is an open question.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say like Flying Lotus. I was also gonna say like Earl Sweatshirt. And one of my favorites right now is Twami. I don't know if you know who Twami is, but Twami has and DiBiase.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
I just met
Twami,
DiBiase.
look into him. He did a lot of the Mutant Academy stuff, like Fly Anakin, and
okay.
so if you look back at some of his work, it's very reminiscent to a lot of the artists that we were just talking about.
So is LA Cat?
That's a good question.
Oh, okay.
It's
hard.
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say down south though, or
Okay.
like because Fly Anakin and them, they're from Richmond, Virginia.
For real?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know if he's from out there, but
Yeah.
he linked with them.
Hey man, that's the game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, no, it's a different, like you know, I've listened to Fly Anakin, and I always just put him in L.A. You know, I just started, you know,
Right.
I'm just assuming he's
Right.
in that kind of camp.
Right.
You know, the first time I heard him was on, I think it was Madlib.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
Madlib.
The
I think
Madlib
it-
project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, is anybody Leaning Clouds?
shit, man.
Any producer that
Any producer?
that's not always in the discussion?
I'll name two. I'll name a West Coast and I'll name one from the Mississippi, man. I don't think Big Crit is really talked about enough as a producer.
That's a big fact. That's a big fact.
Yeah, Crizzle is on some shit, man. It would be dope. But
True indeed.
and then out as far as the Bay, you feel me? California. I like DJ Fresh. I feel like his sample flipping game is stupid. Like, you know.
Yeah, Fresh has way too many projects.
He's a workhorse, bro. Like, I think that's
He's a
very commendable,
Big
bro.
brother.
And he's a co-DJ too.
Yeah.
He literally
Right.
DJs. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Like literally on some battle, you know, going
Yeah.
back and forth type of
Real
vibe,
hip hop
which is
shit,
like
bro.
you don't see a lot of that, you know, and he just keeps on pushing though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta love that. You know, you got especially coming from Oakland, being able to wiggle through the different type of styles that we have. We have so many different flavors out here.
For sure.
And what I like too about what's happening now is, like, I remember, like, I guess late '90s, even just the run, like the Bay Area run, was like Loonies and all that. It was hard to have a soul R&B artist, because that was always a thing. It would be like, oh man, if you rap, you could rap, but if you're doing anything outside of rap, it's kind of all bad. So I like now how we have, like, you know, we have Jane Hancock, and
Hancock,
a bunch
yeah.
of, you know, bunch of other folks that are doing, you know, Jada Amani, Astu. I'm not even gonna start because here we go.
Yeah,
go.
it's a
Like,
floodgate.
man, what's up? You didn't say, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
but we just, I like now.
Real hub.
It's a more broader canvas, or it's an open canvas, I should say, and the colors are just flavorful. Like, and that brings me back to y'all. Like, it's like when Hyro, I remember Hyro was like Hyro, and it was them, and it was maybe them in like Hobo Junction, and you got Living Legends, and then you have different crews, but it was always out. They were kind of outside of that mainstream Bay Area
Yeah.
kind of zone.
Yeah.
But now we're at a time now where everyone has space, and everybody, you know, there's people that are looking for what you're doing right now, you know, and you just got to keep it, you know, consistent, and keep throwing it in their face. As far as what's the next project, or what's the next big move? Is it a new video? Is it new music, shows? What's the next jump off?
I believe we got probably a couple shows coming up, but collectively we have music that we're sitting on that we're gonna finish up and talk about when we're gonna do another Barbaydose EP. B-Sides and myself are working on a project, and then We in the Cloud got a joint with Ryman from Trey Coastal.
Another
if you
gem.
want to talk about that, We in the Cloud.
Yeah, please.
Shit, man. Hey, we looking to do shows, so if you want to book us, tap in.
Yeah.
Barbaydose Music at Gmail. Nah, for real though. Yeah, we been. It's kind of like one of those things where we've been working on some shit. Like, I don't necessarily want to say pre-pandemic. But me and Ryman released a project in 2018 called Mo Butter. And that was like the beginning of our Currency and Alchemist type tap in. You feel me? So this is our second EP that we got coming up. So Mo Butter is pretty much just gonna be exactly what it was. It was like a real good takeoff for us. But this next project is actually called. We haven't really dropped any information about it yet, but it got some flavors to it though. You feel me? It got some flavors to it. A lot of new music, and I'm excited about the future. You feel me? Because we on some shit right now. Barbaydose is on some shit right now. So you know what I mean. I'm excited. It's only gonna keep
what's
going.
cracking?
Okay.
B-sides?
Well, I stay out the way, try to stay low key, but I think it's time to jump out into the front and center and just let people know what's going on because I'm excited. Me and Highright pretty much finished the latest project that's gonna drop in May. I have a date, but I just want to make sure that all the pieces are together before I say anything all the way.
True indeed.
But like it's like it's an EP, 5 tracks. Highright executive produced it. We have some additional production from other people like SK from Slabwagon.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And it's just basically this is actually going to be my first solo experience project because every other project I did with other people. I'm really big in collaboration. I like to bounce ideas off of people, and I feel like 2 heads or 3 heads is always going to be better than one.
Yeah.
But me and Highright have some chemistry, and since We in the Cloud moved down to like the Central Valley,
Yeah, I'm out the way in the Central Valley.
it makes it a little bit difficult for all of us to get together.
Yeah.
But me and Highright has just been trying to keep the energy and momentum going so that as soon as Jay can get up here, it's not all like, what do we do?
No,
you know
you
what I
guys
mean?
already jumped
We're
right
already
into it. Yeah.
ready to go.
That's hard. You got Highright.
Well, besides the B-sides project, I've been giving beats to hella random people. So there might be a song or two popping up every now and then with some spitters. But my individual goal is to put out a instrumental project. Okay. And I haven't even started on that, but it's one of those things where like I can see it and hear it, but I just haven't put those pieces together. You feel me? Like I know the direction, I know the style, I know the sound, I know everything that I want to do with it. It's just a matter of sitting down and painting the canvas.
I almost feel like that's the best place to be though, because you're already you've already created the scene. Like if you're making a movie, you got the scene. You just need to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though it's easy for me to say, because it's like we were saying earlier, like we have all the equipment, we'll have all this stuff,
Right.
and you're sitting on it, and you could let it sit for 4 or 5 months, and then you feel crazy that you have it and you're not really utilizing it. I'm saying this out loud because I'm one of those people. So that's why we're doing this whole thing. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get a homie, Derek B, a shout out. Good Vibes, Blood Orange energy drink. He has a magazine. He provided these lights
Tap in.
that shine. Give
Sponsor.
me the light. You know what I'm saying?
Sponsorship.
Derek B. Yeah, Derek B put me on early in the game as a young DJ, so I wanted to give him a shout out on that. Is there anything you guys want to shoot out your Instagram blast? Because we're descending. We're bringing the shit
Yeah,
down.
whoop, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, most of the social medias. I try to stay off of like Facebook and stuff like that. But Instagram and TikTok, it's B-Sides 510, BSIDEZ 510, and collectively we are Barbaydose. And
I like the name too. before we even get
Yeah.
who came up, give me the name. Give
Okay,
me,
so
Wow, that's actually a great story.
all right, I'm gonna
okay,
tell that.
let's do this.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's give the Instagram things.
Okay.
Then we'll come back
Okay.
and we'll
Alright.
shut
Yeah,
it
yeah.
down with the good Barbaydose
All right.
origin
so,
story name.
We in the cloud. You give them the socials.
Shit. Okay, so tap in. We in the cloud. IG. I just started a TikTok. TikTok the same thing. We in the cloud spells exactly how it sounds. Tap in.
Yeah, and High Rap Music on IG. It's HIRIGHT_MUSIC, and that's my only social. So I'm always there.
Tight. All right. So let's get that Barbaydose origin story. The name.
All right, so we was hella high in
Boom,
High
boom.
Right's house. We
Who
was-
would imagine?
So
in.
yeah, it ain't nothing new, right? Under the sun.
Cloud of
Okay,
stories.
so me and Jay, when we get together, we in the cloud. Whenever we get together, we like to joke around with each other. And that night, we came up with this game where we replace something that sounds like a R with bar. So like we were like, instead of Kendrick Lamar, we were like Kendrick Lamar or Barshawn Lynch or like Bar Kelly or Bar Simpson, because we were just like trying to have the play on words.
should've
And
been a
then
hashtag.
we were like, I'm from Barcelona, and then one of us said Barbados, and I was like, that's it right there.
Barbados.
And then we just spelt it different.
Yeah,
And we made it 3 words because High Right looked it up, and he was like,
Broke it down
it means something
phonetically.
totally different when you use separate words. When
Yeah,
you
so I was up late one night on the phone, and I looked because it's BAR is one word, BAY is one word, and DOSC is one word. You put them together to make Barbados, but separately, I was like looking up ancient Aramaic meanings and different, like a lot of ancient languages.
Real lyrical.
dead languages.
Yeah, and it a roundabout way means sons with the gift of words. Bar meaning son, bay meaning gift, and dos meaning words. Which we just stumbled upon another, like we could call ourselves the sons with the gift of words too, and that'd be just as meaningful as Barbados. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we just stumbled upon that through that word game that they were playing. Which,
I'm a name guy. You know what I mean? I'm one of those, like, I'll just think of stuff and just put it on my phone. So that's when I stumbled on the name, I was like, oh yeah, that's some slick shit. I dig it, man.
Yeah.
Well, man, you guys have any? Oh no, go ahead, man. Jump in there. What you gonna say, man?
Oh shit, no shit. I'm just vibing. You know what I'm saying? Just
You
vibing.
about to
dog.
let something go.
About to freestyle.
Spit one time.
Well,
Drop the mic.
you guys any shout outs? You know what I'm saying? We want to shut it down. You know, give
Hey, shout out to Noble. You feel me?
Shout out to Drums and Ammo.
Shout out to Drums and Ammo. You
Ammbaataa.
feel me?
Appreciate it.
Ammbaataa
Yeah.
for surely.
Yeah.
Shout out to the crew. Shout out to the whole Bay Area.
Yeah.
Shout out to the
Bay.
listener.
Boom.
Appreciate y'all.
Hell yeah. Well, this is, like I said, this was the crack off. This was the set off
yeah.
of the Drums and Ammo live experience. Kind of live, but this is DJ Ambush, Ammbaataa for Drums and Ammo. This down the third at the Fairfax studio, East Oakland, California. Come see us, y'all.
Slitty.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.